talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Today I had a work meeting and it was the most, I have never felt this much dread in my life before. Like something inside of me died. And honestly, if I keep working 9 to 5, I think I'd rather kill myself. I'm gonna be really open with this video and these journals.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling? I heard today. Let's talk, shall we? Let's talk. So, what do you think about that video? That was very depressing to hear that young man say that he felt like he was gonna just take his own life simply because he had to work what everybody else has to work. Now, here is the new topic, the new fad. F that job. I've heard all the terms. I've heard everything. I've heard quiet quitting. I've heard F this job cause I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. It doesn't make sense. But let's put that into the perspective of the postal worker, because I hear some of my postal family saying it's time to give up. And I'm gonna be that positive Pete. While you can have some of those negative Nancy's, there's plenty of other channels for you to hear the negative Nancy's. And if you want to hear a negative Nancy, feel free. This is not the place. This is the place of reality, the reality checks. My son sat here right next to me one day and I said, we keep talking like this. We keep coming up with this theory of, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't care. I don't want to work. I ain't doing that. They're going to find a way to replace us. And now, what do they do if the show still has to go on? But there's nobody that wants to work to do the show. What do? They find ways to keep the show rolling. Hence the reason why they're getting the robots to try to replace us. I said that before and I'll say it again. That's why they're getting the equipment. Remember, I made those videos less than a year ago and said, the machines don't call out. I said, the machines ain't got no excuse. They're not gonna call in sick. And y'all thought I was being an asshole, but here we are. And today is coming to fruition. People are saying, no more, sick of it, tired of it. Jay, this is bull sugar. And I say, keep holding on. You gotta work hard now so that you don't have to work hard later. These people that say they wanna quit, they may have something to fall back on. They may have parents. Your parents are not always going to be around. There is no other alternative that they are sharing with you. They're not saying, I'm doing this instead. They're just saying, hey, there's the ledge. Let's all go jump off of it together. But then what? Is this whole country going to go into a spiral? But let's stick with my postal family because, again, I want to be the positive Pete. And I did a video a long time ago telling you guys about how much you actually work here at the post office when you finally reach the promised land. And the promised land to me is when you're finally able to do your 40 hours a week as a career. We're not talking about money. We're talking about the work-life balance. Just like this man was talking about, only get 2 weeks off, man, this is bull crap. So we're going to use his for instance because that's what he said. We know the post office is not like that, but let's talk about a J for a minute. My 5 days a week, my 40 hours. That's what I'm doing, okay? Let's talk about the 11 holidays that I get. Let's talk about it. And a majority of the postal workers that are career and they made it past their 5, 6, 7, 8 years. A majority. Just because you are not doing it doesn't mean the majority is not doing it, because as you clearly hear, the statistics are showing that the overtime hours are being cut. This is not to say it's a good thing. It's not to say it's a bad thing. We're saying what the reality is. The reality is Everybody is supposed to come onto the job and work 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day. And then when you become career, you get your 11 days off, etc. Let's do the math, shall we? I did it already. Do you know how many days we actually work per year out of 365 days? We only work 236 out of the 365 days a year. That means we have a total of 129 days off per year. You probably like, that's bull, Sugar Jay. And I'm gonna say, no, it's not. We get 2 days off a week. Do your own math. Feel free, pull out your little calculators. You have one on your phone. The 2 days off a week that we have, the 2 weeks off, like he just said, right? 2 weeks off. The 2 days off per week. We got the vacation, plus we got the 2 days off per week, and we have 11 holidays. That's just the basics. Just the basics. Do your math. That equals 33% of the year. 33% of the year, we're not at work. That's the promised land. So 2/3 of the year, we are at work. We're not working every day of the week. We're not over there slave labor. But Jay, you're not being realistic. I'm telling you what the 40-hour work week is. You go work at a bank? We're not working at a bank. We talking about everything. Regular carriers, regular workers, the ones that have been there for a minute. This is why I keep saying the promised land. They only working 40 hours a week. They only working their 8 hours a day. And they're taking all their time off. And that's a basic 2 weeks. Because once you get past a certain length of time, you're getting 3 weeks, 4 weeks off. People are earning sick leave. Yeah, I didn't incorporate all that. I just based it off of 2 weeks. 236 days a year. That's all we're working to get our salary. We're not talking about the money, because if we get into that money aspect of it, people get upset. But quiet quitting. Great. Quit. Put the comments there. F that job. If you say you quit this job, please leave the remainder of the comments. Say where you are working now. Because there are other people that want to quit. This place is a lot for some people. But you can't tell somebody quit if you're not sharing information on what to do next. Because when a person quits, they have to eat. They have to pay bills. They have to do something, and make sure it's realistic that any person can do it. That's all I say. Let's be realistic. So until you've worked hard initially so that you don't have to work hard later or work it all later or set yourself up with a game plan so this isn't the end of it all, what do we do? What do we do? The golden number right there, the golden number, 33% of the year we're off. And if you can't budget or manage 33% of the year off on your own time and figure out how to make that work for you, then giving you half a year off ain't gonna do you no justice either. And if we get half a year off, who's gonna do the work? The robots. And if the robots do more work, they're not gonna need the people. And if they don't need the people, where do we get our money? We need to eat. Are we gonna be those that just want handouts? Because I know I drive past a lot of those people standing on the corner with the signs up because they want handouts while I'm driving to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. That bothers me. Are we in that state of mind right now where everybody just needs a handout? We need a break. Hell yeah, we need a break because the economy sucks. But are we in that state of mind where you have just given up all hope? Because if that's the case, that's our future. And if everybody follows suit, how do we get anything done? Who's gonna feed us? Who? Now, I'm not talking about just in our house, but if everybody follows suit, we're talking about the workers that actually work at the plants, not the postal plants, but The food processing plants, if they only want to work half the time, where's the food going to come from? If the truck drivers only want to work half the time, the supermarkets are going to be empty. If the people that usually tailor our clothes say they only working half the time, we going to be half naked. If the people that are doing the tech behind the scenes to keep the internet going, we'll only be able to watch TV for a certain amount of hours. See, I'm old enough to know that there's a certain time of day when the TV would go off, it would go off. Like the TV shows would just end for the day, and the TV would just be snow. Damn, Jay, you old. But that's what it was, because everybody clocked out at that time. Nothing was going across the airwaves. And then at a certain time of the morning, the TV, it came back on. That's what it was. We are blessed with all this technology. How? Because people are working night and day to make our lives easier. Ain't that something? But now it's gotten to the point where it's so easy, we're almost too spoiled. You see what I'm saying? We have all this time to talk to a camera, take time to edit and post, but we don't want to do no work. Some of us make it on here, some of us don't. It ain't paying a ton of bills. So what do we do next? There's just some of us that have to work hard, and the rest, what are you doing? Are you collecting the sweat off of from the sweat off of our back, you collecting money? Please make it make sense to me, because right now it doesn't make sense. And if you please, I want all of you to leave your realistic comments. You could huff and puff and fuss in the comment section, but please make it make sense. Vent sessions are great. I enjoy all your vent sessions, but make it make sense, because when I say these things, it may offend you, but other people appreciate it because this place has changed their life. And if I've only touched one person, I've done my job. This is JH. I pray that this message gets through to my postal family. You see me? And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.